Over 2 million Americans visit the doctor each year because of rotator cuff tears. And by the time that nagging shoulder pain shows up, the damage is usually done. Mobility gone, strength down. Even reaching for something on a shelf feels like a full-body workout. Despite all this, shoulders remain one of the most overlooked and misunderstood muscle groups in the gym. That's exactly why I made this video. Whether you're a weightlifter, an office worker, or just someone who wants to keep tossing a football with the grandkids pain-free, these shoulder exercises aren't optional. And the last two, they'll challenge you in the best possible way. Let's jump in. Exercise number 1. Exercise number 1. Overhead press. A foundational move for bulletproof shoulders. Overhead press. A foundational move for bulletproof shoulders. Let's kick things off with a true classic, the overhead press. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not flashy, it's not new, and it's probably not trending on the internet. But guess what? That's exactly why it works. The overhead press has stood the test of time because it delivers real functional results when performed correctly. This movement activates your anterior and medial deltoids, two key muscles in your shoulder that are essential for pressing power and overall shoulder definition. But the benefits don't stop there. It also plays a major role in stabilizing your rotator cuff, which is your shoulder's internal safety system. Plus, the overhead press isn't just a shoulder exercise. It's a full body movement that demands stability and tension from your feet to your fingertips. Here's the thing though, most people are doing it wrong, and not just a little wrong, dangerously wrong. One of the most common mistakes I see, especially in busy gyms or casual lifters, is turning the overhead press into a lower back press. Let me explain. When someone grabs a barbell and pushes it overhead, they often flare their ribs, arch their lower back like they're bracing for impact, and push the weight up using momentum rather than muscle. The result? A stressed lumbar spine, poor shoulder alignment, and a movement that's leaking power from every joint. If your lower back is doing the work, then your shoulders aren't, and that completely defeats the purpose of the movement. Not to mention, you're flirting with serious spinal issues over time. So here's how to fix it. Before the bar ever leaves your collarbone, take a moment to tuck your pelvis slightly under and engage your glutes, almost like you're preparing for a punch to the gut. This simple action locks your core into position and eliminates that exaggerated lumbar arch. From there, press the bar straight overhead while maintaining a neutral spine and a tight midsection. You want to create what's called a vertical stack. Your wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles should form a straight, stable line from the floor to the ceiling. This stacked position doesn't just protect your spine, it allows you to generate more pressing power through efficient force transfer. In other words, you're pressing with your muscles, not relying on momentum or poor form to move the weight. When done correctly, the overhead press becomes a true full-body challenge, and your shoulders will thank you with strength, resilience, and long-term health. It's not the sexiest movement in the book, but trust me, it's one of the most important. Don't skip it, and definitely don't butcher it. Exercise number 2, lateral raises. The secret weapon for well-rounded shoulders, lateral raises. The secret weapon for well-rounded shoulders. If your goal is to build strong, resilient, and pain-free shoulders, then this next move is absolutely essential, the lateral raise. Now, lateral raises might not get the same hype as heavy presses or rows, but they target one of the most crucial and commonly neglected muscles in your shoulder, the medial deltoid. That's the one responsible for giving your shoulders that wide, rounded, cannonball-like appearance. It also plays a vital role in stabilizing the entire shoulder joint during pressing, pulling, and overhead movements. Here's the truth. Most people get plenty of front delt activation from compound lifts like overhead presses and bench presses. But the medial head, it often gets ignored. And when that muscle is weak, your entire shoulder complex can suffer. You'll feel it in your training. Unstable overhead lifts, a drop in pressing strength, and a posture that slowly starts to collapse inward. These are signs that your shoulders are out of balance. Lateral raises fix all of that. They directly target the medial deltoid, helping you build strength, structure, and shoulder symmetry. But, and this is a big, but only if you're doing them right. Unfortunately, the majority of people in the gym treat lateral raises like a cardio dance move. They grab weights that are too heavy and start flailing their arms around like they're trying to take flight. It's chaotic, ineffective, and honestly dangerous. To get the true benefit of lateral raises without shredding your shoulder joints, here's how to do it properly. First, raise your arms in the scapular plane, not directly out to your sides. What's the scapular plane? It's about 30 degrees forward, where your shoulder naturally wants to move. Raising in this plane respects your joint mechanics and reduces the risk of impingement. If you lift straight out to the side, you're more likely to grind bone on bone, a recipe for long-term shoulder pain. Second, lock your scapula down and back before you start. Think of pinching your shoulder blades just slightly and keeping them stable. This ensures the tension stays in your delts, not your traps. You're not trying to shrug the weight up. You're trying to lift it outward with control. Now here's where it gets really effective. Use tempo. Take 2 full seconds to raise the weight. Pause just under shoulder height, and then slowly lower it back down under control. This is where the real magic happens. The eccentric lowering phase is where most of your muscle growth occurs. So don't rush it. And no, you don't need a heavy dumbbell to make this work. In fact, going too heavy usually ruins your form and shifts the load to muscles that shouldn't even be involved. A light to moderate weight lifted with precision and control will absolutely set your medial delts on fire in the best way possible. So if you've been ignoring this move or treating it like an afterthought, it's time to upgrade your approach. Lateral raises may look simple, but when done right, they're one of the most powerful tools you have for building strong, stable, and seriously aesthetic shoulders. Exercise number 3. Front raises. Take back control of your overworked front delts. 3. Front raises. Take back control of your overworked front delts. Let's talk front raises. A go-to shoulder exercise that almost everyone does, but few do right. Why? Because your front delts, the anterior deltoids, are already working overtime. They're always active during pressing, carrying, even just sitting with poor posture. But here's the catch. Being overused isn't the same as being strong. In reality, most people lack true isolated strength in their front delts. That's a big issue. Weak, unstable anterior delts can sabotage your overhead lifts, pull your shoulders into that dreaded forward slump, and even cause nagging neck tension you'll mistakenly blame on stress. And for adults over 50, fatigued front delts are one of the clearest signs of postural decline, that forward hunch. It often starts right here. Front raises, done correctly, help rebuild targeted strength in those tired front delts. They also rebalance your shoulder, helping offset all the pressing and poor habits that wear you down. And perhaps most importantly, they retrain the movement patterns you actually use in daily life, like reaching, bracing, and lifting something straight in front of you with control. Want to do them right? Here's a pro tip I swear by. Skip the dumbbells. Use a weight plate instead. And when you lift, keep your thumbs just a bit higher than your pinkies. This subtle internal rotation mimics real-world shoulder mechanics and keeps the load where it should be on your delts. Only raise the weight to shoulder height. Go higher, and you start activating your traps, not your delts. Embrace your core. Don't lean back like you're mid-salute. If your hips are swinging to help, you're not training shoulders anymore. You're rehearsing for a kettlebell swing. Bottom line, keep it strict, keep it smart, and give those front delts the controlled strength they've been missing. Exercise number 4, reverse flies, the shoulder savior. Now, the last shoulder exercise in this routine is reverse flies. If you ever sit, scroll, type, or drive, this one's mandatory. By the way, that's my attempt at humor because I know we all do this. That aside, let me tell you how important your rear delts are. When they're weak, your shoulder joint starts spiraling. Literally, internal rotation takes over, which means you lose postural control, and every press or pull you do starts grinding instead of gliding. Reverse flies reinforce scapular retraction, which means pulling your shoulder blades back and together. At the same time, they isolate your rear delts with just enough load to stimulate instead of irritate them. If you want to make the most out of reverse flies, use light weights and high reps. Rear delts are small endurance-based stabilizers, not movers like your biceps. If you're using 25 pounds dumbbells and can't hold a squeeze at the top, you're using your traps. Also, do a quick form check. Hinge from your hips with a flat back, just like you're doing a deadlift, and keep a micro bend in your elbows. Now, the most important thing here, lead with your elbows, not your hands. And don't let the weights fly past your shoulders. At the top, squeeze your shoulder blades like you're crushing a credit card between them. Then lower with control. Here's a genuinely awesome move. Try reverse flies on an inclined bench because it takes momentum out of the equation and makes your rear delts do all the work. And if you want to level up even more, add a 1-second hold at peak contraction. And there you have it. 4 exercises your shoulders truly need. These aren't flashy gimmicks or trendy moves. They're practical, proven exercises that build real-world strength. The kind that helps you lift, reach, carry, and train pain-free year after year. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these exercises are already part of your routine, and which ones are you excited to start? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read and reply to every single one. If this video helped you, if it gave you something new to think about or a fresh way to train, please like and subscribe. This channel is still growing and your support means everything. Every view, every share, and every comment helps it reach more people and lets me keep bringing you smarter, more honest fitness advice that respects your time and your body. Thanks so much for watching. Now go train like someone who plans to stay strong for life. I'll see you in the next